Imagine waking up and the first thing you do is check your social media. You go to bed doing the same thing. How does it make you feel? Connected or exhausted? One more. Raise your hand if you ever caught yourself mindlessly scrolling through your phone only to look up and recognize an hour had passed. This is a common experience, but the question is, how often is it happening and how much is it affecting us? Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Azizah, studying at Yapemri in Depok. Social networking sites have become increasingly popular among teenagers in the wake of strict policies implemented by many countries to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, including social restrictions, lockdowns, and quarantine measures. Generation Z or Gen Z were born between 1997 and 2012, the first generation brought up online. They had experienced struggles that affected their mental health, particularly after the pandemic came. The Gen Z also learns about the beauty standard at their insufficient age. The network has offered opportunities almost limitless to gain insights and contacts. However, it has also exposed young citizens to cyberbullying, cyber harassment, and various forms of malinformation. According to Medical News Today, Science Direct says children and some teenagers can be adversely affected by the problematic social media use, or we can call it PSMU. The researchers found a link between problematic social media use and declining emotional intelligence, psychological stress, and procrastination. A survey collaboration between researchers from Faculty Medicine, Public Health, and Nursery, University of Gadjah Mada, Indonesia, University of Queensland, Australia, and Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, United States. The survey found that anxiety disorders are the most experienced mental health disorders by teenagers, reaching 26.7%. Next, issues related to attention deficit or hyperactivity reach 5.3%, and depression 5.1%, behavioral problem 2.4%, and PTSD 1.8%. Popular platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are examples of social media we frequently use, that many people use too. But the experts argued that the rising frequency of social media use might significantly increases the risk of clinical issues that revert to as fear of missing out or FOMO. Social comparison orientation, SCO. Most of us are familiar with the concept of the FOMO, aren't we? We can't resist the following new trends, even though they leave us feeling drained by both of emotionally and financially. The reality is that trends change constantly, and as long as we're alive, there will always be new ones to keep up with, many of which we haven't even discovered yet. A forward social comparison orientation happens when we comparing ourselves to others who has positive energy. Meanwhile, downward social comparison orientation occurs as comparing ourselves to someone who has negative energy. Let me give you an example of Gen Z behavior I had. About a year ago, I was in Sumedang, Jatinangor. I just coming out of the woods after spending some quality time with my sister and completing my family task. After traveling, it's become a habit for me to upload a story on Instagram. As I was scrolling through, I came across a post from one of my mutual connection. They were happily traveling overseas to Japan. Yeah, to Japan. Well, meanwhile, I was sulking in my room envying them. I'm feeling like they had the perfect life. And I was stuck. I spent the next 3 hours locked away in my room. But here's the thing. What do we really know about the people on social media? It may seem like they are living a dream. Okay, they had a perfect life. But what if actually they are struggling with the personal issues? What if they don't have what we already do? What if actually we are more than them? Who do we really want to be? I realized then I was asking myself, who am I? I don't want to be someone who constantly compares their life to others. I don't want to be someone who just sulking in my room for 3 hours. I don't do nothing. I was doing nothing in my room. Then, how can teenagers truly discover their true self, truly discover who they are, cultivate self-love, and embrace their own choices when they are perpetually influenced by this addictive media? These platforms, we should limiting social media use and focusing on real-life experiences, which helps them to reconnect with their true values and their true interests. Self-love might help as well. How can we use these amazing interactive platforms to benefit the world and avoid the negative effects that it causes? Okay, remind them that social media isn't the real world, not some place, office we can live in, none other than just a tool. You may see people who constantly post their selfies frequently, but remember, it may not be a grandiose narcissism. Maybe they have tried to trust themselves. You have to try it too. Trust yourself. Then, you have to try to reaching out your friends beyond the screen and have a coffee. At the very least, we should remove the barriers, and we shouldn't grow up with phlegmatic. Instead, try to pour the waters on the sympathy and empathy. Thank you for your attention. Be kind and be honest. Good luck!